Today I'm sharing what I eat in a day as a nutritionist to make sure that I get 100 grams of complete protein in each day. Hitting your daily protein needs and making sure they're from complete sources can actually be pretty difficult if you aren't actively planning your meals around getting enough protein. And eating enough protein each day is so important if you're looking to achieve any type of weight loss or body recomposition goal. In fact, in a really recent 2023 study, they found that higher protein diets did better than regular calorie restrictive diets at achieving a body fat loss and weight loss goal. Plus, eating enough protein makes you feel satisfied, prevents sugar cravings, and helps to preserve or even increase muscle mass if that is your goal. Now, for myself personally, I'm currently not looking to lose weight, but I do need to be getting enough protein in because I am currently pregnant. And for my goals, I also need to be making sure I'm getting enough protein to support a really healthy pregnancy and the growth of my baby. So whether your goal is weight loss, fitness, or general health, getting enough protein is so important and can be so tricky to achieve. So I'm going to bring you along what I eat in a day in order to achieve 100 grams of complete protein as a nutritionist. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's nutrition human performance. Now for today, the first thing that I decided to have was a protein pancake. But I definitely switched this up. You guys have seen me have smoothies, you've seen me have eggs. There's a lot of different things that I'll eat. But today I felt like a pancake, and a protein pancake is such an easy way to get a really large amount of protein in without even really realizing it. So first off, I'm making my protein pancake with my zero sugar protein powder. Especially if your goal is weight loss, you want to make sure that the protein powder you're using is very high quality, but also doesn't contain sugar. My zero sugar protein powder was specifically developed to actually taste amazing in recipes like pancakes and smoothies, but also to not have any sugar. And it doesn't have any erythritol. It just uses 100% monk fruit extract. So I use 2 scoops of my protein powder mixed with an egg, which gives me another 6 grams of protein there. So just with that combo already, I'm getting about 26 grams of protein. And then I add a half of a mashed banana to get a little bit of sweetness, but not use too much fruit, a splash of vanilla extract, and then I stir in some frozen blueberries because today I wanted blueberry pancakes. I cook these on the griddle with a little bit of coconut oil. And once they're done, I then top it with a half cup of my homemade Greek yogurt. You can obviously use store-bought Greek yogurt as well, or skyr if you want to use skyr. Both are very high in protein. And this half cup of Greek yogurt adds another 10 grams of complete protein to my meal. So totaling it to about 36 grams of protein just with this first meal. And then I add a little bit of fresh strawberries on top for some lower sugar fruit as well. And I eat all this all combined. It's so good. Now, one thing you'll note is that as I'm going through my meals, I'm only counting proteins from complete high quality sources because you will find small amounts of protein in different types of fruit and veggies. These are not high quality proteins. They're very low DIAs, which just basically means that they aren't absorbed in the same way as higher quality proteins. So to make sure I'm getting the most bang for my buck and actually reaping the benefits of protein, I'm only counting high DIAs complete sources toward this total 100 grams. And this is something that I do recommend to all my clients and AM peeps as well, especially if you're looking to maximize your goals from a weight loss or body recomposition perspective. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what different types of proteins are high quality proteins, I will have a full blog post with a full list of different omnivorous, vegetarian, and plant-based options that you can check out. I'll have it linked down in the description below. Okay, next up we have lunch. Now for lunch, I had a big leftover salad. So lately on Sundays, I've been making my big Sunday salad, and then I'll have extra lettuce and veggies that I then have as a base for salad throughout the week. That way I don't have to prep anything during lunch and I can just kind of toss it all together. So this salad had romaine, beets, carrots, cabbage, and radish as the veggie base. So if you're actually putting this into some type of calorie tracker or like MyFitnessPal, you would probably see some protein from this veggie base. I'm not counting that because it's not high DIAs and it's not going to help support the goals I'm looking for. Maybe I'll get some additional amino acids from it, but it's not actually going to support those protein goals I'm looking for. So I view this lettuce base as like my fiber micronutrient component. So today I also had a lot of leftover chicken from the weekend. So thankfully I didn't have to prep this. Oftentimes I will use a low mercury tuna like Safe Catch, which also is not something I have to cook and I can just like dump into my salad. Makes it really easy. I like to aim for about 4.25 ounces of chicken so I can get roughly 35-36 grams of complete protein from my meal. Usually I just eyeball it, but just so you guys could actually see what this looks like, I took out my kitchen scale, measured out about 4.25 ounces of chicken so you can get an idea of what this looks like. And I never actually measure this out on my own when I'm making my own meals because of the years of just experience of being able to see what 4.5 ounces looks like. But this is a useful tool in the beginning if you aren't sure you're getting enough protein to just kind of be able to get a sense of what that amount looks like. So you can get one of those little kitchen scales. I think I got mine for like $9 on Amazon, and it's it's a really useful tool just again to kind of get in the habit of understanding how much protein your body really needs. I also had about an additional 8 grams of protein from the cheese that was cubed up and added into this too. It was about an ounce of sharp cheddar. And then just for some crunch and high quality fats, I added on some sunflower seeds, some pumpkin seeds, and some leftover guacamole, and topped the whole thing with olive oil and balsamic vinegar, which I've been on such a balsamic vinegar kick lately. Like, the simple stuff is actually really amazing. Okay, then for dinner tonight, I made some baked meatballs. This one was a little bit tricky to determine how much I actually needed to be eating of the meatballs in order to hit my protein needs, because there are so many other different sources of protein within the meatballs. So in this recipe, I used ground beef, ground pork, and ricotta cheese, all 3 of which have high quality protein sources, but in different amounts. So in order to get an idea of how many meatballs I should be eating, I calculated out what the total amount of protein was from the amount of ricotta I was using, the amount of pork, and the amount of beef, and then just divided that by 35, which is how much protein I needed to get, and found that the whole recipe would make about 5.7 servings of 35 grams worth of protein. So I just split this up into 5 servings to err on the side of slightly more protein than slightly less. That is another really important tip. I always recommend erring on the side of slightly more rather than slightly less protein. Unless you have some type of current kidney disease or some other condition that causes you to not be able to eat protein or eat enough protein. For most people, it's generally best to err on the side of slightly more and to feel more satisfied than to eat less and to end up getting sugar cravings. I served the meatballs with a homemade tomato sauce and topped it with some pecorino and paired it with some roasted broccoli, which again, if you're using a calorie tracker, the calorie tracker would tell you that you're getting protein from the broccoli, and that's just not simply the case, not the type of protein that will actually support your goals. So I love incorporating broccoli for the micronutrient component, but it's not a protein source. So when you actually make it a habit to structure your meals around high quality, complete protein sources, it can be a lot easier to achieve the amount of protein you need than you might think. It does just require understanding what high quality proteins are, as well as how much you really need to be eating of it, because a lot of people are eating a lot less than they really should. So make sure you check out the 10 best high quality proteins from plant-based, from omnivorous, from vegetarian sources with this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.